all I wanna do. It's all I wanna do. Believe, believe, believe. It's all I wanna do. Believe, believe, believe. It's all I wanna do. Believe, believe, believe. It's all I wanna do. Dreams, they can come true. Will you accept the apology that is long overdue? Well, I question what forever is, and I know you do too. When the answer's right in front of me, believe it's all I wanna do. Trust you not to break. I'll trust you learns to wait. I know you not. I trust you not to break. I'll trust you learns to wait. Wanna know you not. I trust you not to break. I'll trust you learns to wait. It's all I wanna do. Believe, believe, believe. It's all I wanna do. Believe, believe, believe. It's all I wanna do.
That's me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, August 7th, 2017, and it might be a bit of a quicker stream today because, I got stuff to do. But, yeah, let's get started. It's going to be a different day today than it has been the last, 3 or 4 weeks, or whatever it was, maybe even 5 or 6. Because we are basically done doing cross streams now from the decoration side of things. We still have to do a couple of things. Basically, the only thing that's getting between us and shipping the game is, as a free demo, if I was actually, charging people for it, I would do a lot more to it, and also probably wouldn't, have the online constraints, stuff like that. Yeah, so the end game, so I'd have an escape menu that would be leave the game. And that probably, what it would do would be, if it's a server, it'd probably just end the game. And if it's a client, it probably would just despawn all of their units and remove them from the player rotation. Well, actually, it would just despawn their units. It wouldn't have to remove them from player rotation. It would just cause a half-second lag when it switches the game, as it does right now. Gotta drop the fan a little bit. Check and see if it was cool enough, but apparently not. Yeah, so we're going to do that. Then we also have to do the thing where if the pawn, which is the camera, gets too close to an object, it'll despawn it. Gets close to the a roof of some sort, so we'll have them in the level, a roof of the stable, a roof of the castle area, and the roof of the cathedral. Those three things will not despawn, but kind of hide when the camera gets too close, and unhide when the camera gets far away. And the idea behind that would be, if you need to select a unit inside or whatever, you can see what you're doing. It's decoration until you actually get inside it. We'll probably do it with a volume, but we could do other ways too. I'm not sure. Then we also have to do the break off animation for, and also the breakfast decoration, which is just blocks for King's Court. That was the level I'm thinking of. And then we should be good. Should be able to do a free demo with that. So those three things, and then we'd be able to ship a free demo. So at that point, the streams would end. I would, not forever, but the streams would be stopped for a bit while I do some promotional videos, like showing people how to play the game because the UI is kind of crap. Then, maybe show the levels and the features of it. And then set up a Patreon. Hopefully that won't be too complicated for a tax side of things. Twitch apparently is, but hopefully Patreon is a lot more easy than that. And then put on itch.io, put the post up on Piece Perspective. That will be done in an hour. We're talking about writing a post, right? And then it's released. And then we can, I can take it offline, do more development. I'm going to be replacing quite a bit of the back end, I think, especially now we have VR constraints. The VR requirement is pretty harsh for performance. Although I'm pretty sure check-it can be reduced. I know of places that would probably get me well within performance. As long as we keep the level size to a reasonable amount. I'm thinking that if we can do cross streams 64 by 64, we probably want to say that's our maximum level size, which we kind of already did when we did our decoration with the kind of holodecky material at the outsides. I'm not getting any people joining. I'm not sure if they just don't know I'm on or what. Anyway, I think I should be busy today. Anyway, so right. So those are the things. After that, we release. and then I can go back. I could add Steam support. I could add so like Steam works. So like if you want to join server, you can click on or right click on your friend, say join game, as opposed to asking them their IP address and having you guys set up firewalls. And then from there we can also do Linux support. I'm assuming Linux support's going to come before Steam because I'm not guaranteeing it, but I'm not doing anything crazy when it comes to like materials and stuff like that, so it should translate to OpenGL or Vulkan really easily. And from there, I mean, I'm not using any like platform native calls for Windows. So from there, it should just be a matter of building the engine with Clang and porting over, like, and publishing. Then we'll have a built version for Linux that we can play around with. And after those, then we can keep going from there and see what people like of it. If people really like it, we can evolve it in whatever way people make sense. I could talk to bring up the demo and go to like publishers and stuff like that and say like, hey, this is what I have. What do you guys think? And see what they say. Whether they want to do it in VR. Because one of the nice things about Check It is that it's a turn-based strategy, which means that apart from how long it takes to input and like get the information in your head and input the move, there really isn't any difference between mobile, PC, and VR. There is no like input skill required to do it, right? So if we can have something that works on all three platforms, it should be roughly balanced. Unless one platform significantly is better or worse at acquiring information you need, like zooming around the map or picking up the piece or whatever, in which case then the movement clock could be a bit of a problem. But assuming it's all roughly the same, then it should be not a big deal, right? And at that point, we should be able to release on all the platforms if we have an interface that works for them. And console would work too, but I'm not sure if I really want to bother with any of that. I don't really like consoles. Now, if someone says release on console for whatever reason, then I might consider it, of course, but especially since it's, not so much a story game, it's more just like a game, right? And we'll see. Anyway, so that was my kind of ramblings. Let's open up Check It. Check and see. There's a new version of the engine. New version of the launcher, at least. Okay. Oh, Forward 70 has been released. We're not going to update to it yet. Although there is some stuff in it that would be kind of interesting, like handwritten shaders. For projects and plugins, you can always write handwritten shaders, but yeah, basically needed to fork the engine to do that. Crap, it's the wrong one. Come on. Not that Firefox profile, come on. This one. Composure compositing system. Open CV. Oh, cool. Open CV is computer vision. I was wondering why they did it in Unreal Engine 4, but it makes sense for Enterprise and stuff like that. And I started doing it for linear video as well, which is technically an Enterprise thing, but yeah. Global Shader for plugins and projects, of course. Kind of wondering what they do for that. It would be interesting if they let you create custom nodes and you can just drop it into a material. Still experimental, that's fine. Been to normal maps. Oh, that's interesting. Xbox One X, oh, sure. Spectator screen, cool. Art kit. Oh, okay, cool. Tango for UE4, it's cool. UMG Slate. Oh, yeah, clipping, yeah, I got that. Yeah. Different setter. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. Every audio is now on new platforms, yeah. Let's see audio. There we are. So removing as an experimental feature. Fix project compositioners. Buffer size related crashes as comfortable in grade 2. Steam audio. Haha. That'll be a problem. Okay. So, let's get back into this. So the game that we're working on right now is Check It. If you're new here. Okie dokie. So, when we launch the game, presented with various options. Let's go to cross streams level. Do a free for all. Set spawn 2 and spawn 3 to AI. Team 2 and team 3, which is gold, silver, blue. We'll see what it looks like with new content added in, right? Okay, here we go. So if we move up here and off to the right, see the cathedral, it's kind of bland. I need to actually change some stuff. But it'll be good enough for a initial release, right? When you get close, you'll be able to see. Or when you get close to this, you'll be able to see the insides. Here. May actually add, like, you know, pillars and stuff like that here. Probably get away with just using oh no, because they're not together. They're not separate, they're together. I think it just reduce the size of this. Not the top balcony part, but just the pillars. Once I use the corner guys here, which is this thing. Like one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. So one. That'd probably work. Or I could just do one. I think it'd probably look better if it was this, that, and that. Anyway. So there we have the various stuff here. So I want to have, like, if the camera goes in either of these 4 tiles here, the roof will disappear, and have it be for all the stables. And we'll probably do a box here to there. Inside, not including, but inside those things I marked here with the little walk around I'm doing. Have the top of the cathedral disappear. Probably the pillars would stay there, though. Okay. And then also do the same thing over on the other side. So what we probably want to do first is make a new class. So it'll be a C++ class. It'll be a subclass of actor, unless I can do a subclass of static mesh. Actor. Probably best if I actually do, let's try static mesh actor here. Range stack mesh actor. Sure, why not? I'd normally just take an actor, default, and do all the stuff myself, but I think I could probably just manipulate the stack mesh actor and make something easier. Here. We're gonna close down the editor because I don't trust hot loading. Right. And ooh. May have had a problem. No, okay, never mind. Oh, I pinned it. Oops, I thought I closed it. I didn't want to close it. I thought I misclicked, but I misclicked in the way I didn't realize. Source, check it. Private tile. You know what? Let's do this over here. Let's do this over here. And then have waterfall spawner there. So we can see both H files at the same time, as well as both CPP files at the same time, as well as either tiles, C++ and HP, an H file at the same time. Because there wouldn't be a time where we want to see this one's header file with this one's source file, and this one's header with this one's source, just the other three combinations would be a problem. Okay. So the thing I'm thinking of is we do have a bit of a problem with our ability to save and so forth. And I'm not sure. It could be, it was around the same time I added waterfall spawner, so it's possible I may have accidentally did something wrong with waterfall spawner. So just in case I did, I'm kind of overviewing it again. And that way I won't do it again. Hey Troublesome, welcome to the chat. So we were just showing the game as it stands at the moment. I need to figure out this stuff here. Thanks. So we're getting very close to initial release. We just decorated our second of the third map, and the third map of our three maps, and the third map is just gonna be cubes, like equal-sized cubes. So the only thing we have to do is trigger them to fall at a certain time. Yep. So this is what it's going to look like right now. Again, it's going to be a free game, so the UI looks like crap, and I know that. It's going to be a bit difficult to understand, but fine. So, but the level that we finished designing today, apart from, or yesterday, apart from a couple of things like stuff like that, is this one here. Again, the only thing that's not axis aligned is the weather vane. So this is the game as it looks right now. A little waterfall over here, which I'm obviously proud of. Yesterday we added a cathedral over here, which does look a bit, you know, bad, but the idea is that if you're close to it anyway, it's going to disappear and you guys see the insides, which is what we're doing right now. And then we're going to add some decorations in here, which is going to probably be these little corner things here. And then we go over here. There's a weather vane. The idea is that when this is going to free rotate at some point after initial release, and that's going to add a wind value, a wind vector to the level, and things like the fountains and the waterfall are going to blow accordingly. And then we have our castle over here. After the initial release, I'm going to probably change it a little bit. Move this probably out to around here. And then add a little wall element here. On both sides symmetric with a little bit like a banner or something. So you're seeing like part of a castle a little bit more than this right now. Basically, when I did it initially, you couldn't really tell what's going to look like until you see it. And I was like, yeah, I want to do a bit more than that. I want to show a little bit more than that. But for an initial release of a free game, I don't think many people complain. It still shows what I intend, even if I'm going to be changing a couple things around. And then things like that. There's another waterfall over here. Should show a little bit more what's going on. So basically, it just creates a expands a sphere, drops it, and after a certain amount of time, resets it back up there. And again, it's not gonna look like, you know, Battlefield 1 or anything like that. It never will, but, well, unless, you know, a big publisher gets involved somehow. But I think it's serviceable now, especially if we do add what we're adding right now, which is when you get within a certain range of an object that can block the view of tiles that are important. Like the houses will probably not have this just because the tiles inside them are all, you know, they're disabled tiles. You can't actually move anything in there. But the cathedral, the top of the castle over here. Like, I want this to disappear when you're within this little range here, the top part there. So you can, you know, not... have to zoom in to access your pieces. Even though you could just zoom in, but still. And the cathedral as well, as I said earlier. So the 4 stables, cathedral, and the castle. Then we have to add a... how would it work changing the perspective? I don't know what you mean by that. If you mean, like, not just looking down at the level, it would block the view. It would normally block the view, but I'm going to add, well, what we're working on right now is an actor that when the camera gets within a certain distance, it will make this disappear, and all you'd see would be the base underneath, which would not block your view. So it would take the roof off of it, basically, so you could see into it. But then when you disappear, the roof would appear again. Like when you leave, the roof would appear again. So like you'd see the cathedral around here, and then when you go inside, it would disappear. At some point, I'm planning on doing VR. I would need to get a VR headset for that. The Oculus summer sale sounds like a good time to get a VR headset for basically half price in Canada. So I might consider that. And if that's the case, then great. I'd be able to kind of float around the level. Again, as I was saying, another thing is with VR, two things affect performance about VR, two big things. The first big thing is that you can't control where the camera is, so you can't just pretend that the viewer can't see something because you can tell the camera never look up, or whatever. So you can't use that to hide objects and help your performance like what we're doing with this right here. We're taking like 10,000 draw calls and reducing it to like 700 because the camera can't look up. VR, they can look up because we can't tell them not to look up. Because then you'll get motion sick because the view of the camera won't align with the view of the head. There is some ways around it, like if we make the camera be too low, but that wouldn't be a turn-based strategy. That would be like a shooter or an action game of some sort, right? And then the other issue is that with VR you need high frame rates already to get motion sick. So you need to not be able to control the camera because you get motion sick, and you need fast performance because you get motion sick. That's bad for performance on both fronts. So the way around it... Oh, I also gotta fix some material. Some of them are not aligned properly, but that's small stuff. Yeah. So there's that and that, and then check out the processor you got in the mail. Oof. Want me to show us on stream? Okay, so when we do that, we would need to basically redesign the level. And we're also hitting a problem where our lighting is not being saved. Next to show on stream. Yeah, so apparently Mir got a processor in the mail, and it looks like it's not going to work. It's actually a fairly old processor, looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So 37, maybe not. 1156, okay, that's not too bad. It's fairly recent then. But yeah, it's so yeah, we're gonna be getting close to that. I forgot what I was saying earlier. Oh yeah, this is not me, this is Unreal Engine, but nice little reflections. Again, I have nothing to do with that, that's just by default Unreal Engine. Still find it kind of awesome though. We're going to be changing the shape of the tiles a little bit. Instead of the rounded corners we see here, it's going to be more flat and angular, kind of knife edge. That's partially for performance, but it's also, I think, better fits with the aesthetic out there. Or, as you can see from there, or a better way to see it's actually over here. This kind of material. That kind of material for the voxel will probably have something similar to that for the tiles, which will cut down on their complexity significantly, and that's great because there is about 9,000 of them in the level if you count the aura. Actually, we can even do it different where we have knife edge for the tile, and the aura could be just a straight box with a... Maybe I can do a little bit of beveling on the corners there to make it kind of like a Mac Mini kind of flat topped but rounded corner. So like flat and like perfectly flat at the edge, but the horizontal kind of has a little bit of bevel to it. Small one. How do I describe it? Cylinder. Like, yeah. Kind of like a cylinder versus a sphere, that kind of thing, right? Where the top and bottom is still flat, even at the edge. That'll cut down on performance significantly, and then the other major hit at performance would be combining them together. So we'd be able to combine, like, let's say 32 or 64 of them into a single cluster. And then we'll have the actors in the level still. So in the CPU side of things, we're still not going to be drawing, but we're going to be storing the data separately for each individual actor, just because I want to be able to control them in the editor still. And then we, yeah. That way we'll drop our draw call down. Our draw call counts down to under 1,000, which means we should be able to see the entire level from any view and still keep in the hundreds of frames per second. Like, well over 100 frames per second. But that's an optimization I can't really do on stream, because I have to essentially restart the game. Copy stuff over still, but yeah. I wasn't planning on doing a do-over. I was planning on just replacing chunks of it, but when I decided on VR, it seemed like... Well, when I decided on VR and when I found out the light map won't save properly, I knew that means I had to redo the level, and pretty much the only benefit of saving a project versus just, you know, copying and pasting the source files out one by one into a new project is the, like, designing a level. But if we have to do that anyway because we have a bug that means we can't build lighting, then gotta do it. Anyway, so let's go back to here. I guess it's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream, even though we've already been going for about 45 minutes. And we haven't really done anything. Here. So U-class, generated body, public, a range static mesh actor. I don't need an initializer, because all that stuff is going to be the same. Actually, I don't even need a constructor at all. All I need is probably virtual void tick. Cool. That should actually be all I need. Just on each tick, see where the player pawn is, if they're too close, if they're within something. Oh, I need to add a volume as well. So UE4 volume component. I think it's a volume component. Trigger volume component. Box closure component. Oh yeah, box closure. Yeah. UE4 box component. Maybe it's because I'm tired. I'm trying to remember if... No, yeah, so it's just a box component. Okay. I can actually do that as my base component as well. Oh no, I can't do that. Yeah. And then we'll do view box components, box trigger. And the U property, blueprint, read only, edit anywhere, category equals check its stuff. Because why not? Yeah. Should allow it to, yeah. Allow us to adjust the box component. If not, I could add variables to it. That would work for that. Okay, so void tick float delta seconds. What are we doing? It's not even that anyway. It's a ranged static mesh actor. Yeah, okay. Super tick delta seconds. What? I don't think that matters. What am I even doing now? Okay then. Okay. For get overlapping actors. Box component. V4 API of box component. I know where a lot of this stuff is added on there. I do get overlapping actors. Yeah. Okay. So if box trigger, gotta check our pointers to make sure. Trigger gets overlapping actors. Let's actually edit here. T-ray. A-actor. Overlapping actors. Or overlapping pawns. Overlapping pawns. And then T subclass of do I have to do static class? I don't have to do static class. Unless T subclass of kind of behaves like that. A pawn. I see it being used. Before class filter. Stack. Okay, it's static class, that's what I thought. Even though that might have to a pawn. Static class. Okay. If player controller get pawn, overlapping pawns. Contains okay, so let's do this here. So and get world. A pawn, new gameplay statics, get game player, controller, get world, 0. So, a pawn equals controller gets pawn. Contains pawn and pawn, or pawn, and there we are. Let's do that, sure. The ASAC mesh actor. Stack mesh component. Okay. Be visible equals else. It's false, I should say. I think you gotta do use static mesh component to make the build tool expose it to the editor. I could be wrong though. They could just collide, I'm not sure. So that should be it. And then I'll see how I can modify the box trigger. Oh, okay, so that'd be collide. Okay. But I said if you use a U property on it, it would be exposing the editor. And like the build 2 would take care of the collisions, but apparently not. Oh, we did need the constructor because we need to set up the box component. Whoops. So that's not gonna work. Right. Everyone's being like, hey, we don't need a constructor this time, yay! Nope, we do. A ranged static mesh actor. Const F object initializer. Reference object initializer. And over here. So primary actor to actually have to turn on a tick as well. Box component. Trigger component. Box trigger. Whoops. Box trigger goes object initializer dot create default sub object u box component. I can't type worth my life. Oh, Xtor actor. Yeah. Don't want to be a component. I'm gonna have to adjust it, but I'll see what I have to do to adjust it later. Want to see what actually happens in game. Yeah, I'll be calling it quits soon. Yeah, please get slash mesh component. Okay then. So I'll fix that, but I want to see what happens in cross streams when I add it into level. character, place in the level. Trade. Oh, okay. Just too small. Let's do 500 by 500 by 500. Oh. Okay. Okay, so now for this, we need to add, let's just add stack mesh to it. So we should see its lights appear when we get close to it. Should be there when we're in range of the trigger and not when we're not. Well, it's there when we're there. Not sure why it's not disappearing. Oh, I didn't set it said overlaps. Collision. Oh, there overlaps. Good. So before we do anything else, let's do, oops, not there. We'll do console.log, it's not what it is. It's, I completely blank out what the log is. UE log, okay, array log class, right. Log class. Oh right, yeah, warning. Okay. Currently overlapping elements, and then overlapping pawns dot. I think that's right. Doing play the viewport, so that way I can developer tools, output log. So I'm not overlapping with any of this. So maybe it's because I need to do wait, was it? I think it's good. So we're not overlapping with anything. Well, I can actually do this here. Because we're already limiting it by the collision channel. So unless the problem is I need to do a TRA or something else like that. Not TRA, the subclass of. Oh, I think a new Monster Cat track you linked earlier was actually a pretty good song. Kind of on the more kind of slowish, mellowish side. Again, things like this is going to disappear when I do the fix. Alright, I can't even do that. Oops. So I'm going to go here. Bing. Not overlapping with 0, it's 0. What? So why didn't that save? And why am I seeing this? What if I was thinking box opponent? Unless I was already from... Unless I was already from Unreal Engine. No. So let's do here. So 500, 500, 500. Oh, it probably generates it for us. I don't know why I would do that. But honestly, I don't really care if it just works. I'm gonna fix it anyway, but yeah. So let's see if this works. Currently overlapping 16 elements. spawn. Use the Unity command to try to stop the game. Okay. Shouldn't be a hard thing to do. Try this. Then rid of that, then do a compile, because let's trust hot reload, because why not? I want you to just crash on me. You gonna crash? I don't trust hot reload sometimes. So it still wants to spawn there. See what happens. Still not changing the number of elements. Collision. For capsule of any playable. Oh, okay. Should know what I'm doing with this, but for some reason it's not working. It's not something I haven't done before. This is all stuff I've done before. Like, many, many times on stream. Just creating an actor and placing something on it. So let's see here if I set the box trigger to none. I should just using the actor after all. So when I disable it, the let's maybe do anything again. The log doesn't work, so box trigger is null. So this is turning off box trigger. So that is the right one. So we're getting overlapping events for the object we create there. So this is working. That's the right one. Definitely fun. Maybe make it even bigger. I should have just used a regular actor, I think. $500 should have been enough, but apparently not. Sure. Oh. Was that the stupid thing I forgot to do? Forgot to attach it to the object. I'm gonna try to save. I probably could have done it at a different level too, but I mean, Crossstreams is the one we're messing with, so might as well leave it in the one we're messing with, right? That'll probably be it for today. See how this works. I think we have it in there. Just make sure. Okay, now we go here. We go range, track mesh actor here. And there we go. So now it's attached to the actor here. Box extends. 500, 500, 500. Yeah, the problem is I forgot to attach to the actor. That's just hilarious. Apparently not. Okay, overlap events. Overlap only pawn. Said overlap only pawn, why aren't you? Let's do block all. See if it's even working like that. Not sure what it's planning to achieve with block all, but gonna do 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, just to make sure that if we're out here. Should be overlapping that. So the thing that's confusing me is two things. It's not overlapping my pawns, so that it's not going up. And it's overlapping with things that aren't pawns. So I'm wondering what actually is being triggered. So 651 elements won't make sense if I'm overlapping with pawns. Which means, yeah. So I don't know what it's overlapping with. There's certainly not 651 pawns in the level. What's problems here? No idea. Well then, give it a try. We're gonna try next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.